Lionel Johnson. The Primarch of the Dark Angels grew up alone in the death-haunted forests of Caliban, with no human contact and no weapons, hunting the great beasts. By the time the Emperor found him, he had already killed things that should have been impossible to kill alone, and that was before he had a sword. Lionel Johnson is hailed as one of the most naturally deadly duelists among his brothers. Unlike Angren, who fights with a berserk fury, or Guilliman, who embodies tactical perfection, the Lion approaches combat with an almost mathematical mindset. Throughout the Great Crusade, he wielded the Lion Sword, a power blade crafted by Terran masters that could slice through power armor with ease. In the 41st millennium, he carries Fealty, a power sword radiating a deadly golden energy field along with the Emperor's shield, a remarkable artifact that can reflect kinetic force back at attackers. His tactical style combines these tools with unique physical and mental attributes. Johnson has the Forest Walk ability, allowing instantaneous, localized teleportation to reposition mid-duel. His combat mindset shifts from cold restraint to predatory instinct. This lethal combination has secured him a flawless record and never lost a duel outright. He defeated the Night Haunter, Conrad Kurz, in brutal single combat. He knocked out the Space Wolves Primarch, Leman Russ, after a grueling multi-day brawl. Most recently, he defeated the Demon Primarch Angron in the Arcs of Omen campaign, using the Emperor's shield to deflect the Black Blade before delivering a decapitating strike. His duel with Luther at the fall of Caliban lasted days and ended with both combatants near death, the planet destroyed around them, and neither man was able to finish the other. Ghazghkull Thraka. A bolter round destroyed 30% of Ghazghkull Thraka's skull on the planet of Urk. A deranged orc surgeon named Mad Doc Grotznik rebuilt it with adamantium plates and expanded cranial capacity. When Ghazghkull woke up, he was larger and harder to kill than before. Among orc war bosses, Ghazghkull fights with a patience that has no business existing inside an orc skull. He has demonstrated campaign-level strategic thinking, leading scholars to speculate that Grotznik's reconstruction awakens something older in his genetic code. He carries the Mega Armor of the Warlord, which continuously expands as its owner grows, along with the Mork's Roar, Twin-Linked Shuda, and Gork's Claw, a power claw of extraordinary size. His physical strength at this point exceeds what most weapons in the setting are calibrated to resist. During a massive 10-day battle on the planet Krongar, the Space Wolf Ragnar Blackmane managed to cut off his head. However, Grotznik saved him by attaching his head to a much larger, stronger robotic body. Ghazghkull also shared a fierce rivalry with Commissar Yarrick, fighting him across 3 major wars on the planet Armageddon. Instead of killing Yarrick, he repeatedly captured, tortured, and released him just to keep the excitement of their rivalry alive. Commander Farsight. The Tau are not built for close combat. Their doctrine runs on ranged supremacy, battlesuit mobility, and coordinated fire. Farsight broke from that doctrine so completely that the Ethereal Council declared him a renegade. Among Firecast commanders, Farsight occupies a position no one else holds. Where Shadowsun embodies patient misdirection, drawing enemies into prepared grounds, Farsight is more aggressive and direct. He is the only Tau commander whose tactical doctrine requires him to be in the fight rather than directing it from range. He pilots the XV-8-02 Crisis Iridium battlesuit, one of the most heavily armored variants available to the Firecast. His primary weapon is the Dawn Blade, an alien weapon recovered from the ruins of Arthas Moloch, forged from chronophagic alloys that add the stolen lifespan of every opponent it kills to the wielder's own. Farsight has been fighting with it for 3 centuries. His fighting style is built on explosive entry and decisive single strikes. Close the distance, overwhelm before adaptation is possible, and end it. He survived a formal Malkla trial, or the Tau equivalent of trial by combat, while injured and missing a prosthetic leg, against Anva's chosen champion. Imotekh the Stormlord. The Farron of the Sautekh dynasty woke from the Great Sleep to find his tomb world in civil war. Imotekh raised his own army, destroyed every competing faction, banned infighting across the dynasty on the grounds that it wasted resources, and conquered 80 tomb worlds. He wields the Gauntlet of the Conflagrator, a weapon capable of unleashing searing fields of crackling energy, and carries the Staff of the Destroyer, a weapon of immense destructive power. His living metal body repairs damage in real time during combat, making the conventional logic of wearing an opponent down through accumulated wounds essentially useless against him. His fighting style weaponizes patience and regeneration at the same time. He absorbs his opponent's best strikes while his body repairs itself, watches them exhaust their strongest attacks, and then responds. He does not rush since he has 60 million years of accumulated perspective on what rushing costs. During a duel with High Marshal Helbrecht of the Black Templars, Imotekh easily shrugged off a barrage of attacks because his self-healing living metal repaired itself faster than Helbrecht could damage it. After winning the fight, Imotekh chose to humiliate the Space Marine leader rather than kill him. He severed Helbrecht's sword hand and tossed him off a bridge. He showed this same cruel mercy to Farseer Eldorath Starbane of the Elder. Imotekh lured Starbane's entire army into a deadly Necron tomb and wiped them out completely. He then cut off Starbane's hand and let him live, sending him home as a broken messenger to warn his people. Drazhar. No records of Drazhar exist in any Incubus shrine within the dark city of Kamara. He simply materialized one day at the Great Shrine of the Incubi, effortlessly cut down the outer guards, and challenged the city's finest warrior to a duel. The fight was over in minutes. Drazhar stepped over the mutilated corpse and cleaned his weapons. Armed with paired blades known as the Executioner's Democlaves, he moves with a terrifying speed that even Eldar Phoenix Lords struggle to track. He wears the legendary armor of the Unseen Blade and fights with mechanical efficiency. Survivors describe his combat style as a machine that has done nothing but perfect the art of killing for 10,000 years. Drazhar's undefeated streak includes every single warrior who has ever challenged him. When the Supreme Ruler Asdrubal Vecht sent him to assassinate the Eldar prophet Yvraine, Drazhar managed to press a blade to her throat before the Phoenix Lord Jain Zar intervened. Drazhar later ambushed Jain Zar and her warband inside the alien webway, cutting the Phoenix Lord completely in half. To prevent her spiritual resurrection, he mockingly gave her sacred armor to dark shadow creatures known as mandrakes. The only duel Drazhar ever lost was his rematch on the ruined world of Zandros. Jain Zar was brought back to life, supercharged with the divine resurrection energy of the Eldar god of death, Inead. She managed to disarm and kill Drazhar. However, when a Dark Eldar survivor later put on Drazhar's discarded helmet, her mind was instantly erased and overtaken by his consciousness. This suggests Drazhar may be a corrupted Phoenix Lord whose consciousness persists within the armor. Jain Zar. Born Ferrothil on the world of Adafaran, Jain Zar was so young when the Chaos god Slaanesh was born that she has no memory of the ancient Eldari Empire. After surviving the apocalypse alone, she was found by Asurmen, the first Phoenix Lord, and trained under him until her skills surpassed his own. She went on to found the Howling Banshees Aspect Shrine and has been fighting for her species' survival ever since. Among the immortal Phoenix Lords, Jain Zar is unique because she never stops actively defending her people. While others only appear during the end times or haunt dead worlds, Jain Zar is constantly present, fighting across various craft worlds, joining the newborn Inari faction, and hunting specific threats across the galaxy. She is the fastest of her kind, second only to Baharoth. Her arrival on a battlefield is heralded by her terrifying psychosonic scream, known as the Scream That Steals. At full power, her mask's psychosonic projection does not just stun her enemies, it liquefies their brains inside their helmets. She fights using the Blade of Destruction and the Jaina's Moor, a lethal, three-bladed throwing weapon. Her acrobatic combat style relies on blinding speed and the core Howling Banshee philosophy, strikes so quickly that defense becomes impossible. She moves at such an overwhelming tempo that enemies cannot read her patterns. By the time an opponent even begins to analyze her movements, the fight is already over. During a raid on Simhan, she saved the prophet Yvraine by blocking a fatal blow from Drazhar. When she pursued Drazhar into the webway, he ambushed her and cut her completely in half, scattering her sacred armor to dark shadow creatures to prevent her from reincarnating. The prophet Yvraine asked the Elder God of Death, Inead, to save her. Jain Zar was resurrected, supercharged with divine death energy. When Drazhar tracked her down for a midnight rematch on the lost craft world of Zandros, Jain Zar easily disarmed and executed him. Khârn the Betrayer. Before the Horus Heresy, Khârn was the captain of the World Eater's 8th Assault Company and the personal advisor to his Primarch Angron. Remarkably, he was the steadying voice beside the most unstable and violent leader in the galaxy. Khârn was also the very first World Eater to survive the surgical implantation of the Butcher's Nails, pain-inducing brain implants that force absolute rage without dying. He volunteered for the procedure, fully understanding the horrific curse he was accepting. While other champions fight with theatrical flair or slow attrition, Khârn relies on absolute forward momentum. He simply closes the distance and attacks. What makes him lethal is the fact that 10,000 years of non-stop killing have made technique completely irrelevant. He has simply killed more people than almost anyone else alive. Khârn carries Gorechild, a legendary chain axe lined with mica dragon teeth that can chew through virtually any armor in existence. He wears the Armor of Scorn, ancient power armor so heavily damaged and repaired over millennia that the patchworks have become part of the suit itself. Built into his armor is a digital kill counter that has been running constantly for 10,000 years. His combat style is driven entirely by the Butcher's Nails. The implants inflict agonizing constant pain that is only relieved when he kills. For Khârn, every fight is a desperate act of pain management. He literally cannot stop fighting because stopping hurts worse than swinging his axe. At the Siege of Terra, he was struck down after killing an estimated 1 million defenders. His brothers carried his corpse to the ships. He was still alive aboard. On Scalathrax afterward, when Scalathrax's killing night fell and both legions sheltered, he burned his own legion's camps to force them back into the cold rather than stop fighting. By dawn, the World Eaters were shattered into warbands that have never reunited. He killed a living saint on Sadreka. He has dueled demon princes and walked away. Khârn will not simply let his greatest champion die permanently. The Swarmlord. The Swarmlord is not an individual creature, but a reusable genetic blueprint deployed by the Tyranid hive mind when normal alien armies cannot win. Every time it is killed, the hive mind recreates a new version that instantly absorbs the memories and combat experiences of all its past lives. This means the Swarmlord literally learns from its own deaths. While ordinary hive tyrants act as basic battlefield generals, the Swarmlord is the actual hive mind fighting in person. Its arrival means the alien collective intelligence has stopped delegating tasks and has decided to solve the problem directly. It wields 4 psychic bone sabers that drain the life force from anyone they wound, and its mere presence creates a massive psychic disruption that scrambles enemy communications while drastically boosting the reflexes of all nearby Tyranids. Its fighting style is the distillation of every combat it has ever witnessed or experienced across multiple lifetimes, fluid and specifically calibrated to the opponent in front of it in real time. It reads patterns faster than most warriors can generate them and adjusts mid-strike. At Macragge during the First Tyrannic War, it defeated Marneus Calgar, the chapter master of the Ultramarines, and tore off both his arms before the Imperium managed to destroy its physical body. During the Octarius War, it spent months breaking down the defenses of the Orc ruler known as the Overfiend. After engaging him in a grueling, hours-long duel, the Swarmlord killed the Overfiend and consumed his brain, causing the entire Orc Empire to collapse within weeks. Thanks for watching until the end. Click here to check out another video and see you in the next one.